All right, so let's go Facebook. Let me know if you all can hear me as I'm coming in. I've had some technical difficulty. I couldn't really put my title in, so I guess I would do that after we have stream live. Kevin, since you were watching before you, hey Kevin, let me come put my title in, Kevin. So let me know if you can hear me. I know you probably won't be on Facebook for long. All right, thank you, thank you, thank you. Appreciate that. King of cash flow. Let me you know me, I'm trying to figure out Zoom, so but I want to share with a lot of people are asking me, right? Thank you so much. A lot of people are inquiring about. I have my Kevin, I have my Queen of Credit shirt on today. I was supposed to do this live actually like an hour ago, right? And oh my God, it's just been giving me, it was just giving me some. Let me share my computer sound. Okay, just giving me a little technical difficulty, but I want to help people. Kevin, if you're still on, let me know if you can hear me well. All right, thank you, thank you, thank you. I really want to help people, right? Understand what the vision for the Wealth Club is, um, and why I used to highly promote credit, cash flow, and corporations, but I changed it to company. And if you all stay with me, I'm going to explain why. If you stay with me during this presentation. So um, I want to give you the vision and the goals for the Wealth Club, right? For 2019, I want to help everyone. Right now, I have, I think, 38 people that's joined under me as part of this team personally. So my goal, my vision for those and for you all that come in now for 2019 is to make middle class millionaires, right? Or making middle class millionaires in the making. I double typed on that. So to have middle class millionaires in the making. So this is the credit and cash flow plan for 2019, right? Number one, my plan for you is to wipe out credit card debt in 90 days or less, right? To wipe out your credit card debt in 90 days or less, right? So why credit card debt? Well, credit card debt is that revolving debt, right? And credit card debt, when kept to a lower utilization ratio, will increase or boost your credit score. So the lower your credit card debt, right, the higher your credit score will be. Also, wipe out collections, charge-offs in 90 days or less. Why collections and charge-offs? Because collections and charge-offs have the highest impact on your credit report as far as lowering your scores other than bankruptcies, right? So if you have a collection or charge-off, that is having the highest impact of lowering, having a low credit score more than bankruptcies. And my additional vision that if you do have bankruptcies reporting, that I help you remove those bankruptcies, right, and get them off your credit report because they can deny you for so many different types of credit and loans that you will be able to get approved if those were removed. So that's the credit and cash flow vision. Now, why is credit important? Even for people that want to be debt free, right? Why is credit important, even for the debt free? What people have to understand that credit and becoming debt free are not the same. They're not synonymous, right? You can have a high credit score and have a low debt or no debt ratio, right? So you don't have to be in debt to have good credit, right? Now, good credit is important even for those who are debt free because now your credit more than ever is used to, let me lower this bar down to another location. Okay, use when in the process of buying a home, getting a job, getting phone service. One of the workers at T-Mobile, Sprint phone services, informed me that many people do not qualify for their top tier plan right? Because they have low credit score, right? Which will lower their monthly payments and give them a better quality of phone and phone service. Renting an apartment, right? A lot of people that's trying to move into better apartment homes, better apartment complex, and they have low credit score and they're denied. Or financing a vehicle, right? They want a better quality of vehicle, or even qualify for low insurance premiums. And so if you're getting car insurance, right, your credit score determines your premium, your monthly payments, and those car insurance. So also for services, this is again, cell phone service, cable television. Did you know that? And internet services, it all determined off of your credit. Even if you are or want to be debt free, you have a better home mortgage rate if you want to be a home buyer, right? You qualify again for those better rental situations and living situations. But what I'm going to really, really break down is how it qualifies you for business credit, right? How this qualifies you for business credit. Did you also know that having good credit determines your utilities? Some people have bad credit and they move to new places and new homes, and they opt out, right, to put those utilities in their children's name, or a loved one's name, because their credit is not good enough to get those utilities cut off. Again, I have business credit twice. This other thing is obtain a reward, a credit card rewards card. You can get travel rewards, right? That means you can take a vacation with your family, paying zero money. You can get 0% interest rate credit cards, which means you can use other people's money, right, at 0% interest rate for a select, maybe up to 15 months, right? And in doing that, you can now turn your credit into cash flow, because you can use someone else's money at 0% interest rate and use that credibility to invest in things that will produce you or have assets at a higher interest rate. And so my vision for you all, for those people who join, who sign up today, is to get you to see credit in a different light, right? I want to help you understand how to use your credit and cash flow to create wealth. In doing so, my goal for everyone on my team is to get you a 720 credit score or higher, right? I posted on my Facebook timeline yesterday that I have a 774 credit score now. And that's with Experian. That's the highest credit score I've been able to maintain. My goal is for everyone on my team to get you a 720 or above higher, and to get you an additional $250 to $600 of cash flow. And this money will be coming from your paycheck directly into your pocket. You don't have to get a promotion. You don't have to work overtime, right? With the money, with the paycheck, with the job title that you have now. And that's even if you're a 1099 employee. I can show you how to bring in more money, or have to have more money from your 1099 job or your W-4 job as well. So how do I help people keep more money from of their paycheck into their pockets, right? Now, if you are any student or not a student of financial liberation, or trying to get financial freedom and stop living paycheck to paycheck, you've heard of Robert Kiyosaki, the author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and probably Dave Ramsey, right? Financial Peace University, or Susie Orman. Well, I took this diagram or quadrant from Robert Kiyosaki, and it's something that when I began reading his books, I've never heard of before. Ways to increase my paycheck. I call it W-4 wealth, right? How these tax deductions, if you look at the quadrant, on this side is the east side, right? The east side represents that 40% of employees, people like you and I, the middle class, who go to work every day, right? Who roll up our sleeves, who have hard-earned money jobs. We get taxed 40% of every dollar that we make, right? So for every dollar that we have, 40%, we're only taking home 60 cents out of a dollar, right? But if you look at the S quadrant, they're getting taxed even higher. S quadrant can stand for specialist, Um, People that are solopreneurs, meaning that they're sole proprietors, right? They're working out of their homes. They do, let's say, a lawn services, right? They cut yard, cut grass. They do bakery out of their home. They cook out of their home. Maybe they have a photography business on the side, but they're not a company or a corporation, right? They're a sole proprietor. They fill out a 1040 on their tax return, and now they're getting taxed at 60%, right? 60%. Now you shift over to the right side of the quadrant, right? Now, for the sole proprietor or the solo, right, or the specialist, doctors, lawyers also get taxed. Six-figure income earners get taxed 60%. So for every dollar that they make, right, they're bringing home only 40 cents of it, right? 60 cents of that dollar is going to the government, right? And so if you have that much money coming out of every dollar that you make, this is the pathway to success to get you on the middle class millionaire in the making, right? Because now you can shift over from being a sole proprietor, or you can shift over from having your side hustle, right? And now you can be a business owner and you can be a part of a team. If you all know me, you know that I'm known as the queen of credit, right? But what you don't know is that I also coach basketball, my sport. And I know in basketball, it's all about strategy and preparation, right? And knowing how to strategize. So wouldn't you agree, right? If you're watching live, type in yes or no. Wouldn't you agree, or even if you're watching it in replay, comment yes or no, that keeping 80 cents out of your dollar that you go to work and earn every day, right? And if you're watching live or you're watching the replay, comment yes or no to this question. Is much better, right? Bringing home 80 cents out of that dollar and giving your taxes away of 20% is much better, right? A much better situation than only bringing home 60 cents or bringing home 40 cents, right? So if you agree with that, type in yes. I hope I get all yes across the board. So now we go to the lower part of the quadrant, which is for investors, right? And so these are baby steps. Now, I do believe in some of Robert Kiyosaki's philosophy. You want to get to that 0%, and there's a strategy to do that as well, where you're making money, your money is making money, it's passive in the residual income, and you're not getting taxed. You keep the entire dollar of every dollar that you earn in that bracket. So again, let's look at the cash flow quadrant by Robert Kiyosaki, right? Employees, you have a job and you see the wheel that the employee is running in. It's called the rat race. You're continuously running this wheel. You're burning time for money, right? And you're living paycheck to paycheck. It's a revolving door. You work hard and you don't have any time. Now, you look at the self-employed. You own a job, right? You don't have a job, you're self-employed, but you own a job. Now, on this side of the bracket represents 95% of the population, but only 5% of the wealth, right? You have large debts. There can be an employee of a self-employed, and even larger debts for sometimes the self-employed because they're specialists, right? And a lot of times they can go to school to be a doctor, to be in the medical field, to be a lawyer, and they graduate from those colleges with astronomical debt, right, to finance their degree. Or even employees have large debt, insufficient funds, right, living paycheck to paycheck. And this side of the bracket is active income, right? So according to Robert Kiyosaki, right, in the cash flow quadrant, it will reveal why some people can work for less, right, earn more money, and pay less in taxes and feel more financially secure than others. It's simply a matter of knowing, right, how to get into each bracket and how to shift your money. We call this income shifting. Now, if you're in a business owner and you own a system and people work not just for you, but with you, this is what I'm going to bring you into today. And you can get into this bracket where you're paying less taxes, right? It's more stability. You have more spare time. And it's a quick way to pay down any debt that you have, right? And you can have plenty of money coming in, more than one stream of income. You can have multiple streams of income. And it represents 5% of the people and but 95% of the wealth, right? And so, and it gives you something that you won't have on the other side of the quadrant, being an employee or a sole proprietor, where you don't have a team. You're a specialist, for example. You work for yourself. You're an independent sales contract. You're making good money, but you're making all that money with your time. Your money is not leveraged, right? You don't have a team, a system, right, to make that money with you, where you can make passive income, where you don't have to do active work all the time for money to be flowing into your life. So let's talk about W4 wealth. What is this, and what is it that the rich know how to utilize these strategies, but the middle class and the poor do not? See, it's a myth that many people think that the rich pay highest in taxes, but that is not true. That is not true. The rich are just the smallest population in the United States, right? And so when you have a small set of population, they think that they carry the bulk, or they carry the United States on their shoulders. But what the rich actually know is how to pay less in taxes, right? And then the middle class actually pay higher in taxes. So let's talk about this W4 wealth. Okay. So are you withholding too much money out of your paycheck, right? Are you withholding too much money out of your paycheck? Or are you considering filling out a new W4, right, to give yourself a pay raise? Do you prefer getting a large refund at the end of the year? Now, if you don't know what I'm saying or what I mean by this, right, I had a video clip. Let me see if this video will show. If not, I will have to show it from YouTube. Okay, so all right, so let me switch over to my YouTube and log in so I can show you this video clip, because it's not uploading right now. But it's a small clip, and it will explain to you. So if you're watching live, let me know if you can hear it, right? How you can bring home at least $200 or more dollars, at least $250 or more out of your paycheck. So if you're watching live, let me know if you can hear. I'm trying to make sure, let me see, that my screen is sharing correct. So let me switch over to this screen so you all can watch the video. If you're tuning in, make sure you hit like and hit share, right? Hit like and hit share. Share this context.
When you think of accounting and finance, what comes to mind? Don't worry, this is not my course.
We're gonna work through.
I have something just a little more special planned for you. Do you want to learn about accounting and finance in a way that you've never been taught before?
If getting big checks in the mail makes people happy, then our country should be laughing out loud this time of year. The IRS says the average tax refund in 2007 amounted to nearly $2,700, which means the average taxpayer is having $225 too much withheld from their average paycheck every month. Why does it happen? Often because big deductions like mortgage interest aren't figured in to those average withholdings. But there's a simple solution. It's perfectly legal to change the number of allowances on your W-4 so you'll have less withheld. You can get one from your employer or download one from the IRS. There's a worksheet that will help you figure it out, or even better, use the handy calculator on the IRS website. In less than a minute, you can figure out exactly how many allowances you should claim to minimize your withholdings. And here's why you should. Suppose instead of sending $225 every month to Washington, you put it in a mutual fund every month, maybe a 401k at work. If you earn 12%, in 10 years, you'll have an extra $52 grand. Talk about painless saving.
Of course, the last thing you want to do is not have enough withheld, so do be careful. And if you adjust your withholdings, get a fatter paycheck, don't forget to adjust your saving strategy too. You work hard for that money, make it work hard for you. For Money Talks, I'm Stacy Johnson.
Okay, so you heard that short video clip. He said you work hard for your money, so make your money work hard for you. And so this is how this strategy works. Also, I hope that you pay careful attention to adjusting that W-4 that certified CPA suggested, right? That once you adjust your W-4, that you take that extra money. Now, that adjustment in that example and that paycheck was $225.
Okay, lots of little tax questions all of a sudden.
So he suggested that you take that W-4 and you can invest in a mutual fund. Now, the strategy that I teach or that I use for the Wealth Club and people that support our club is that you take that W-4, right? You take that W-4 and you use it to pay down any debt that you may have. A lot of people want answers to the question of where do I get this this extra money, right? I'm in debt. I'm trying to get out of debt. I would love a debt elimination plan. I know the government shutdown may delay my tax refunds for the 2019. I didn't budget for the holiday spending, but I want out of debt. I don't want to work a second job. I don't want time away from my family. 2 jobs, according to the IRS, are for 2 people, right? And you'll get 2 different tax brackets, right, which may be higher and take more money from that dollar by working 2 jobs. So at the end of the year, you'll get 2 W-2s, right? Because they're not looking at you as one person, because 2 jobs are for 2 people. They're looking at you as 2 people. And so now, if you go back and replay this video, you're in that higher tax bracket that we talked about, where you have $1, but you're only bringing home maybe 60 cents or 40 cents out of that dollar. So let's shift over to this other clip that I want you to understand. I'm taking my time to teach this today, and it's going to have a black screen, but you will hear the recording. I'm usually not a Dave Ramsey advocate or fan, but because I've never really heard Dave teach on this sound or level. But when I heard this, that totally revamped what I considered about Dave Ramsey today and his philosophy about tax withholding.
Can you talk a bit about how to determine what your withholding should be so that you don't get a tax refund? Sure. If you've gotten a tax refund year in and year out, and it's about the same thing, then what you'll do is the easiest way is simply this. Just divide the tax refund by 12, go to your payroll department and tell them you want to claim enough extra exemptions to have that amount withheld. Let me give you an example. Let's say you get a $3,000 tax refund for the last 2 years, and nothing big has changed in your life. I mean, you didn't buy a house, you didn't have a kid, nothing's changed. Okay? Then this year, you're likely to get a $3,000 tax refund again unless you change something. Well, $3,000 divided by 12 is $250 a month. And so you have $250 a month too much coming out of your check. So the easiest way to do it is just go to payroll and say, all right, how many more dependents do I need to claim, exemptions do I need to claim to be able to bring $250 a month more home? And there's absolutely nothing illegal, immoral, or anything about that. You're supposed to...
Okay, so he said about $250 a month, too much coming out of your paycheck, and there's nothing illegal or immoral about that, right? This is Dave Ramsey. If you've never heard of him, Google him, Financial Peace University. And so let's continue to
claim the right amount. The IRS has no requirement for you to over withhold. And their tables stink because the tax law is so complicated that it's impossible for them to produce a table that actually works. And so if you have 3 kids, so I claim 3 dependents, well, that's not going to work. It doesn't hit. It doesn't work out, and you end up getting a tax refund. And so that's one thing you can do. Another you can do, if you have had a bunch of stuff change in your life, is you can just kind of do a faux tax return. Just say, all right, well, this year I'm going to make $46,000, and these are the things I'm going to be able to claim. And, do your tax return and see how much you're supposed to pay in taxes. And then make sure that amount only is being withheld from your check. Right. And claim the correct amount of dependents to make that happen.
Okay, so it says to make sure that amount only is being withheld from your paycheck. And so this is not taught in school. A lot of people have never learned these. They don't know how to adjust their W-4. There's no financial management taught in school. There's no secrets of the rich. There's nothing about tax deduction. You don't hear in school on any level the question of why give an interest-free loan to the government every year, right? When you could be keeping that money for yourself and earning some interest on it. All right. So this is the cash flow blueprint for $27.95 that ends tomorrow at midnight that I teach you, right? And the King of Cash Flow, Kevin, is also on my team to help you understand, right, how to make these adjustments on your W-4. So the next short video clip, make sure if you're joining in again, hit like and hit share, interact, and answer this question for me while I'm pulling up the next video clip, because I had to switch my laptops to do this live, and the PowerPoint that I initially created it on is not compatible with this laptop. So I have to go back and forth and show the videos manually on YouTube. But if you're watching live,
does being on video freak you out? I get it, but you can be totally comfortable on camera and make
a rating of ABC or D scale. How would you rate your credit score, right? You're watching live or you're watching the replay. Let me know, how would you rate your credit score? Because right after this cash flow presentation, I'm getting into the credit presentation, right? Things that will boost and increase your credit score and your cash flow. So let's continue to watch this cash flow presentation by Robert Kiyosaki.
One of the reasons the rich get richer, if you look at it, this is when they say go to school and get a job, they're telling you come here or here. That was poor dad. Rich dad said come over here or come over here. Now, there's a reason for that. Employees pay about 50% in tax. So when you say to a kid, go to school and get a job, they're going to pay 50% of what they earn to the government. Not that smart. So, if S stands for smart, like doctors and lawyers and accountants, self-employed, they really get screwed. 60%. So all your A students out there, congratulations. A lot of this is covered in A students, work for B students. And B students pay 20%. Why? Because B quadrant produces jobs. And what the government wants are more people who can create jobs. Maybe not in this country, but in my country, big problem. So we're tax incentivized. The more jobs we create, the less tax we pay. Who pays the tax? These guys. No, it's true. Like, these guys, B quadrant means you have over 500 employees. If you have over 500 employees, different states in America will come to you. Would you mind move into our state? We'll give you tax breaks.
Okay, so I'm going to show you how to get the same tax break that business owner with 500 employees have, right? And you can do it from home, and you don't have to have that many employees, right? Or you don't have to be a quote unquote big or small business owner. So let's get back to the PowerPoint presentation. So the secrets of the rich is they pay less in taxes. Now, if you're a fan of Jay-Z, you've heard the quote from him that I'm not a businessman, right? I'm a business, man. I'm not a businessman, right? I don't have side hustles. I don't do business actions, but I am a business. I am a business. So what you have to do is to become an employee and an entity, right? Become a businessman or become a businesswoman, right? Transfer your side hustle into a corporation or a company. Don't be a sole proprietor, right? Because again, for every dollar that you're making as a sole proprietor or just an employee, you're only bringing home 60 cents, right? If you're an employee, and even less if you're a sole proprietor or you're a specialist or you're an independent contractor and you don't have a corporation or company. And let me show you just how easy it is to save that money and to bring more money home from your paycheck or their 1099 job by making this adjustment or making this move. So you become a corporation or a company. Now, why do I say a company? I used to just say corporation, because the most easiest transition for people who have their side hustle going on, whether you do pastry, you bake from home, you do goods and services, is to become an LLC, right? A LLC stands for a limited liability company, right? So you can become an LLC or you can become an S corp or a corporation. But if you're new to this and you're just doing side hustle, you do hair outside your home, right? I recommend beginning with the LLC first and become a company. In Mississippi, for example, is only $50, right, to do your articles of corporation to become an LLC. Now, what does an LLC mean? It means limited liability company. Why do you need that limited liability protection? Because it protects your personal income, right, from your business income, right? So if someone is doing my hair, my stylist, my beautician, she comes to my home. If I have some type of skin allergy breakout from her hair care products, as a sole proprietor, she can get sued. I can go after her personal liability. Or if you're baking cakes or pastry, or you cook from home, or you're selling things, or you do lawn services, right? And you are Jared's lawn care, and a rock come out of the weed eater or the lawnmower, and you crack a glass, that comes out of your personal assets, right? Or if someone eats your food and they was allergic to something, you sold that to them, now they can sue against you. So that's why you need to become a LLC on the personal side. But let's talk about on the money side, right? Number one, now you can have business deductions, right? Now you can have business deductions. When you just work out of your home and you're doing your side hustle, you don't have those business deductions. But again, you can have them today over 475, just like if you was an owner of a McDonald's franchise, right? Or 500 employees, like we saw in the previous video, you can have all these deductions to you today. Once you join, if you tell me, look, I have a side hustle, I have a passion for this, then I would then take you through these steps. Now, once you open a business checking account, for example, your insufficient funds fees become a tax deduction, right? Your advertising, what you're posting on Facebook, maybe you pay for Facebook ads or YouTube ads, commercials, it becomes a tax deduction. Maybe you pay me to get your personal credit, right? The queen of credit. Maybe you pay me to get your personal credit improved and restored. And now as an LLC, that whatever fees you pay me is now a business tax deduction, right? Your cell phone that you use or using is now about 80% of that probably is for business use. It's a business tax deduction. Your accounting fees, right? Your or whenever you pay your tax professional, now that becomes a business tax deduction. Maybe you cook from home and you have a depreciation of equipment fees, meaning that you need to upgrade your oven or your stove, more commercial type quality to produce better food. Now that becomes a depreciation cost for you as a business tax deduction. And even the monthly, even when I have people that say, well, I don't want to pay $34.95 a month to keep all these services, even though that small fee is less than $1.17 a day, even that monthly fee to connect to this business for your cash flow strategies is a business tax deduction. Your internet fees, 50% of your internet that you use in your home, right, is business tax deduction. And get with this, even the meals and entertainment, if you go out with the intent to do business or have a legitimate business discussions with someone while you're out eating over a meal, that becomes a marketing tax deduction that you can claim, and you can capture that receipt, and it has the date on it, and it could be a legitimate business transaction whether they join or not. But now a portion of that meal and entertainment can be used as a marketing business tax deduction. So you're getting money back for everything that you're doing anyway. The utilities of your home, all of that is business tax deduction. Thank you so much, Mr. McKee, for the digital love. And let me show you this very, very short video. Then I'm getting into credit hacks, right? You want to stay on for the duration of this video. You need to like and share, because I'm going to share some credit hacks. I didn't put the title of my video in this timeline because for some reason it wouldn't allow me to, but once I'll go back, once I've uploaded, and make sure I include that title. So let's talk about these business tax deductions and how you can get it.
The U.S. government is currently spending trillions of dollars trying to stimulate our economy. Most likely, our taxes will increase as a result. And when our taxes increase, our cash flow will be negatively affected. We'll have less money to spend and will experience increased stress as a result.
Okay, so as your taxes are increased, your cash flow decrease, and you have less money to spend, which means more stress. Less money, but more stress. This is why you need to get this cash flow blueprint for $27.95.
The good news is that the U.S. government has come up with a stimulus plan for individuals. The program will help you keep more of what you earn. It's a tax refund program that's available to everyone who wants to participate. You'll also be able to receive a 17% or more tax deduction from your apartment rental fees or your home mortgage fees. And you'll receive the same deduction on your monthly utility bills as well. You'll receive a 50% tax deduction on your gas pump prices, regardless of how high prices might rise in the future.
Did you hear that? 50% off your gas prices, 17% off your rent and your home. No matter how high gas prices may raise in the future.
Receive a 50% tax deduction when you dine out with a friend or acquaintance. You'll receive a 100% tax deduction on fees you pay for health insurance and life insurance.
Listen, 100% tax deduction, right, on the fees you pay for health insurance as well as life
You'll
insurance.
receive a 100% tax deduction when you purchase a new high-definition digital television. And you'll also receive a 100% tax deduction whenever you and a friend attend an entertainment venue. The good news is that these tax deductions are available to everyone who wishes to participate and who qualifies. To qualify, you need to be a home-based business owner. Here's why this program works. In the United States, you fall under one of two tax systems. One is for employees, and the other is for business owners. As an employee, your employer pays you a gross amount. The net amount that you receive in your paycheck is whatever remains after your taxes have been extracted. What this means is that all of your personal expenditures are made using after-tax dollars, which were based on your whole income. As a business owner, you make business-related purchases using pre-tax dollars. You are taxed on the income remaining.
Okay, so did you hear that? As a business owner, you make purchases on pre-tax dollars. That means you get your paycheck first, then it goes to your expenditures, your bills, your expenses, and then to the government. See, the structure that you're under now, you get your paycheck, then you get taxed, and then what's left is for you to pay bills and for your expenditures. This is a shift or a strategy to change how you are paid and what's being taken out of your paycheck.
After you've excluded your business expenditures. The key then to keep more of what you earn is to operate a home-based business. Keep good records and convert as many of your normal purchases as possible into business-related expenditures. First, let's show you how to convert personal mileage into business mileage. In our initial scenario, we'll assume that you have not yet set up your home office. In this case, traveling from your home to your first business activity counts as personal travel, as does the travel home from your last business activity. Everything between counts as business mileage. So the first thing you should do is rent a mailbox at either the U.S. Post Office or a UPS store, whichever is closest to your home. Checking your mailbox will be your first business activity each day. The last thing you should do each day is visit your local Starbucks. There are probably at least 5 in your local neighborhood, and you'll be able to visit a different one each day. Most Starbucks have a bulletin board where you can post flyers. By checking that your business flyer or business card is in a prominent position, you will be participating in a business activity. This is a great place to chat with a patron and give them your business card. Either activity will allow you to deduct 50% of the cost of your latte as a business expense. In our second scenario, you have set up an office in your home. In this case, business mileage starts and ends at your doorstep. With either scenario.
Okay, the first scenario for people that didn't have home-based business. The second scenario is for people that do. So you don't have to rent a post office, right? You don't have to make a stop at the post office every day. But I get Chick-fil-A every day, right? And this strategy helps me use a percentage of that because I take that opportunity to market my business. Now, if you're a Starbucks person, then this definitely will help you save and get a percentage of that as a tax deduction.
Scenario, a very simple way to ensure that each intervening stop is business related is to talk with folks and hand out your business card whenever possible. The IRS is currently allowing this amount per business mile driven.
Now this is 2010, so the information might be a little bit updated, but look, 50 cents a mile.
In most cases though, you'll benefit far more by itemizing your vehicle expenses.
Well, it's 57.50 now, well, most recently in 2015.
Because you'll probably be transporting prospects, clients, and business associates in your vehicle.
So look at all these deductions you get. The cost of your fuel, we said earlier, 50 cents a mile. Your oil changes, your tires, your tune-ups, your car wash, your repairs, your maintenance. See, people, it is not, right? It is not the money. It's a lack of having these things that you do every day to become tax deductible. It's not your mortgage or your rent note. It's not that vehicle rent. This is what keeping you living paycheck to paycheck, right? The lack of having access to this and deductions and getting money taxed at a high rate out of your paycheck and not bringing that money home.
You'll want to keep it in pristine condition. Here are some vehicle expenses that will become deductible based on the business miles that you drive annually. For example, if 50% of the miles you drive annually are business related and you spend $20 every week to refuel your vehicle, you'll receive a deduction of $520 for this one expense alone. First,
all right, let's look at that deduction, $520, right? That's just what if you drive over 50 miles, right? You're driving to work anyway. Look how much money you're bringing back into your pocket.
Let's assume you live in a 6-room home, one with 3 bedrooms, a living room, a family room, and a kitchen. And you're able to convert 2 bedrooms into offices, one for you and one for your spouse. And you're also able to convert your living room into a presentation room for your prospects. If you do that, because 3 of the 6 rooms in your home are exclusively devoted to your business, 50% of your home is used in a business capacity and 50% of your home is for personal use. What this means is that 50% of the home-related expenditures listed here are now legitimate business.
Listen at your homeowner fees, your roofing services, let's go, your pool, all of this, right? Your utilities within that home. So we're going to exit out, right? But I just wanted to share that with you. And let's go back just a little bit at the home. So you can see this. Your mortgage insurance, your property taxes, your gas and electric bill, your water and your sewage bill, your home insurance. I have security here, gardening. Let's not forget internet, right? And appliance repair, especially if you cook out of your home. Look at the money that you're missing out on for business tax deduction. So let's talk about a topic that I love and near to my heart, and I'm signing off. But I want to make this very thorough video, right? So you all can understand. Is credit, right? Let's talk about credit, right? Let's talk about credit. So I'm increasing your credit and your cash flow. So nearly 8 out of 10 credit reports have errors in them, right? Now, all CRAs, that's abbreviated for credit reporting agencies or credit bureaus, right? If you're watching me live, I want you to comment in, or if you're watching the replay, what are the 3 major credit bureaus? I want you to type that in the comment section. Tell me what are the 3 major credit bureaus, right? If you're watching the replay or watching live. But they all must comply with the Section 609 Fair Credit Reporting Act. Now, a lot of people really misquote this 609 Fair Credit Reporting Act a lot of the time. They say that the credit bureaus must report, I think, 100% accurate information or something like that. That law does not specifically, is not worded that way. But what it does say is that according to Fair Credit Reporting Act 609, now you may be asking me, and I'm talking, sorry, as if you already know, but the Fair Credit Reporting Act was effective in 1971. It's a consumer or people like you and I, Protection Act, right? That makes sure credit reporting agencies and credit bureaus and people that report your medical information, companies, right, report this information in a specific way or a specific act. So you have to ask yourself, does my information, right, be reported in the correct act in which it's supposed to? Not if it's true, but is it reporting correctly, right? And so when you're looking for accuracy, when you make the bureaus, that first step is you want to give them, to get a report for accuracy, not for disputing. You're challenging the accuracy of anything that may be negative or derogatory or delinquent. Delinquent mean late pay, right? On your credit report, derogatory example is a bankruptcy. So you request for the accuracy of all reports in your credit file under the Fair and Accurate Credit Transactions Act, right? That's also called FACTA. The Fair and Accurate Credit and Transactions Act under the Fair Credit Reporting Act 609, which states that the credit bureaus must provide accurate and clear disclosure of all information, not some, all of it, including your name, including your social, including your addresses, right? So if you have anything on your credit report, such as incomplete, account number, right? Or an incorrect balance or a wrong account type, this is the first step that you start. Now, where a lot of people get confused is with the credit bureaus, you are asking for them to make sure that this information is accurate. Now, with the collection agencies, right, you are asking for a validation, right? Validation. With the bureaus, you are asking verification. You're asking verification. You see, letters are not enough. You have to know the law, right? You have to know the law. So when you're challenging the accuracy, a good way to start by your affidavit or letter. I recommend affidavit because the affidavit is a legal document, right? That must be read, not a letter, a template with your name signed on it. And so you will start off with a sentence say, I challenge the accuracy, compliance, and reportability of this list, right? You challenge the accuracy, the compliance, and the reportability, right, of this listing. I'm asking you now, listen to the language of the law, to validate this information with this creditor, but you're not asking the bureaus to validate, right? I know this is my advanced stuff, but you ask them for verification, right? You ask them for verification. So these are secrets to success for your credit and your cash flow. So what is a credit bureau, right? The most important thing to know when fixing your credit is that you are dealing with large, unorganized companies, right? You're not dealing with federal organizations. Lenders pay the credit bureaus for data on you or companies that apply for loans, right? And so a credit bureau is a firm that sells your information, your history, and your financial strengths or weakness. But they are not private businesses. They are not federal organizations. Why do people think, thank you so much, Courtney. Why do people think, you all hit like and hit share because I didn't put a title in this. Why do people think that the credit bureaus is a federal organization and they're so afraid of disputing or challenging the accuracy of information listed on a credit report? Because they hold so much power, right? They hold so much power. So in your mind, you automatically think that this is a federal organization, right? Your credit score is a 3-digit number that determines your lifestyle. Every intricate piece of your lifestyle. And I talked about that earlier in this video. Thank you for the digital love. So you need to watch this replay. You need to watch this replay. So let me give you some of my credit secrets and I'm signing off, right? I promise you, I talked about earlier cash flow strategies, how to get more money from your paycheck and into your pockets, as much as $250 a month without working overtime. Talked about without getting a promotion, right? Hello, Miss Sawanda. So credit secret number 1, right? Keep your debt to credit utilization, right, below 7% if you can. Now, if you're saying I need the money to find out how to do this, I told you earlier in this video, so go back and watch the replay, right? How to find that money, how to get that money, how to get that extra $200 or $600 a month, right? So let's say tell me, answer in the comment section, is a credit card a revolving or is it an installment debt, right? Put that in the comment section. Even if you're watching a replay, would a credit card be a revolving or installment debt? Answer that for me. And if you're watching live or in a replay, also answer this question. How would you rate your credit score? Would you rate it as A, as excellent, meaning I probably have a 760 or above, right? B, as good, I'm between a 720 and a 759. C, right, I'm between a 740 and let's say a 640, right? Or D, I'm 640 and below, right? So my credit secret number 1 is I used to teach all the time to keep it at 30% ratio, meaning that at the 20% ratio, the purple side, this credit card has a $4,000 limit. This person has spent $800. So their ratio is 20%, right? So if they want to get it at 7%, it don't have a $28 limit, right? Because 4 times 7 is 28. On the other side, the person with a lower credit score will have a $2,000 credit card limit, but a higher max, the same amount spent, 800 spent. That's a 40% ratio. That will drop your credit score, right? That will drop your credit score. So let's talk about your laws. Who do I have fight for me? Who do I have backing me? You know, when I write these affidavits, how do I recognize a good affidavit? Which is an affidavit just means a notarized document, right? Stating the law and legalities of what you are challenging to the bureaus or collection agency. So now you have the Fair Credit Reporting Act, right? The FCRA. That's what's regulate collections and the use of your information, right, to credit bureaus, right? Then you have the Fair Credit Billing Act. The Fair Credit Billing Act is for revolving. I asked you all to answer that earlier, but I didn't see in the comments, but it's for those credit accounts, credit cards, lines of credit. So good for late payments. You need to know this act to dispute late payments, right? A late payment will lower your credit score 56 points or higher. 56 points is on the low end, right? And then you have the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act. This is what you need for collection accounts, for debt collectors. This is the law you need to know. This is the people you need to get familiar with, the FDCPA, right? Reviving. Thank you, Mr. Wanda. Thank you so much. The FDCPA. And then you have the Fair and Accurate Credit Transaction Act, which states the credit bureaus must report 100% accurate information on the credit file that they maintain under your social security number, right? So, my credit secret number 2. If you're building from low credit, high credit, I remove some things off your credit report. Even removing negative items will lower your score at times. Why is that? Because the credit bureaus want to intimidate you, right? They don't want you to build good credit. They make billions and billions of dollars off of bad credit alone. So I recommend several merchants accounts, right, that you won't get denied for, you won't get turned down for. They give you a high credit limit, and when you use them wisely, use them smart, up to $5,000, right, of added positive trade line, this will boost your credit score, right? These are my credit secret hacks. The credit secret hack, or secret number 3, is called the piggybacking method. If you see the man, he's on a piggy bank, he has a $sign. Become an authorized user. Ask someone, listen, you don't have to have their credit card. You don't have to possess it, but ask them if they have good credit and you know them and you have a relationship with them. Hey, can I become an authorized user? Can you add me to your positive payment history? Now, their positive payment history becomes your positive payment history, and that helps build you a high credit score, right? Even with a merchant account and an authorized user, you want merchant account that report to all 3 credit bureaus, right? All 3 credit bureaus, which are Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion, right? Because you have 3 different credit scores. So you want a high credit score, or the highest credit score across the board. And my credit secret number 5, transfer your debts. Once you get your credit score at a high rate, if you have credit card debt, this will boost your credit score as well. Transferring that credit card debt or revolving debt into a loan, right, where you consolidate, which is called installment debt, right, will improve your credit score. Because remember what I said earlier, the lower your credit card debt is, the higher your credit score. But don't close those credit cards, right? Don't close them. Keep them at a very, very low balance. Or better yet, just pay them off in full at the end of every month, right? Doing this will increase your credit score. So as I end this webinar, I want you all to hit like and hit share this information. Tomorrow at midnight, the cash flow strategies right now is 75% off, right? $27, that's less than $1.17 today. That's almost less than what some people spend in the drive-thru at McDonald's. It's a limited time holiday special. I have on this is, I didn't change it in, but they extended it. I thought it ended January the 1st, but it ends tomorrow at midnight, right? $27, you need to enroll. I will put in the caption of this video my link. You can enroll with me. You will be trained with me. The best thing about it, you will be connected to the credit coach. Now, if someone that's already joined under me or my team is sharing this with you, join with them. You still have access to me, right? We're fixing your credit and your cash flow. Both of them, we're knocking them out at the same time. We're not playing. We're heavyweights this year in 2019. Now, if you want credit coaching, restoration services, my website is www.fixmycreditandcash.com. You can email me, ld@fixmycreditandcash.com. I give you one 15-minute free consultation. I look at your credit report. I give you recommendations, and then I give you the steps from there to sign up. Hey, this is the Queen of Credit. I hope this webinar helped you. Here's to bigger checks and bigger FICO score, higher checks, higher FICO score in 2019. Make sure you hit like You hit share, become a part of the Wealth Club, right? Become a part of this club. We want you on our team. Like I said, we have about 38 people. Right now, I have about 38, but it's always room for more. So, hey, I'm signing off. Miss Coach Deloach. As soon as I figure out how to end this meeting, I'll be signing off. So, hey, thanks so much. And George, you make sure you hit like and hit share. If you're watching on YouTube as well, hit the subscribe button, reach out to me, send me an email. You want to enroll, I will share this webinar video on YouTube as well. Have a great day. I need to get you. Okay, Miss, you really do, Sawanda, because, hey, it's 75% off. So I put the link in this video. Go ahead and connect. Get in the cash flow blueprint strategies with my econ. And then you have me for your both. The best of both worlds is what I call it. Critic and cash flow, right? The best of both worlds.